Okay, so I've got my brush cut, filed down, and I'm going to replace this brush here. And see, my lead's a little bit long. So what I'm probably going to do here is I'm going to cut just enough of that that I can actually get my hands on it. Leave a little bit of lead. And it was about that long. I'm going to cut this off. Because I don't have the connections for this, it would be nice if it did, but it doesn't have the other tang. So we're going to solder this to this. And I'm just going to give it a little twist here to, I know that's hard to see. What I'm trying to do is just twist these wires together a little bit so they'll stay in place long enough for me to solder them. That's kind of why at least some way just to hold them together for a second. I wish I could say I was a professional at doing this, but although if I keep on going at this rate, I'm going to be pretty proficient at it. I'm learning all the time. I'm going to use these hemostats to prevent the solder from wicking up into the wire. So again, this is a tool that I have. And the idea is that it's just providing a cutoff point, or heat sink if you will, for the wire itself. So as the wire heats up, the wire behind these hemostats will not heat up because of the hemostats themselves being metal. Wouldn't work if it was plastic. So again, you know, I'm using hemostats because I've only got two hands. But if you know, you could use a piece of wire, you know, something of you know, substantial size, anything that you could get your hands on at the minute. Okay. I'm using a 25 watt iron and comparable solder. This particular pump I don't have to worry about getting too hot because it's submerged in water. And again, the heat sink or the hemostats are there to keep that solder from running up that wire and making it stiff, because you want that wire to be flexible and free. Check that connection, make sure it's reasonably strong. Seems to be. Now we'll do the other the same way. Leave me some wire to work with. We learned here that probably putting the hemostats on first is the better idea. So that's good. So now we can put our springs in. Of course, they're going to be stuck to my magnets in here, right? And then slide the brush into place. Make sure it's got free travel. And then we'll do the other side. Now, in the process of doing a number of these, I have come up with some observations. It seems we have two little holes here. One, let's see if I get something to point with. We have a little hole right here, another one right there, and we have two cutouts right here and here. Looks to me like that would work real handy for sliding something into there to keep that brush from moving. So I have devised myself a little tool to do just that. I made one end a little bit longer, so that allows me to slide it in. First we got to get the brush back far enough so that it can get into that hole. Brush is just a tad bit too long, huh? How about that? Yeah, brush is just a tad bit too long. Goes right to the end, wouldn't you know it? Anyway, so this worked pretty well with the older brushes. That was able to slide in and secure that brush from moving. And then I was able to slide that into the other one. And that worked real great in putting all of this back together. So since that isn't working for me right this minute, I'm going to go back to my old ways of using my trusty pipe. These flies are real helpful. Lucky thing, they don't bite. They're just after the sweat on your hands. So I'm going to try to hold that with two fingers and slide my pipe in here. And you can see that my pipe holds my brushes. So they're in place, they have good movement, they're ready to go.